Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories as always. I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, checking out not one, but two quantum variations from Kanye West and Adidas, of course. Without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so two variations of the Yeezy Quantum here with slight differences beyond just the colorway. The frozen blues over here are the basketball version, and the teal blues over here, just the standard Quantum Lifestyle version. I thought about doing both of these together just to kind of show you some differences between the two. It doesn't seem to be the same in terms of differences between like the frozen blue basketball and the frozen blue lifestyle, but some of the differences I'm going to show you today are the same throughout colorways. I'm going to start with the frozen blues over here. These are the basketball variation on the Quantum. Picked these up on the 22nd of December, one of my last crops of last year, for 4,499 Rand from Adidas.co.za, where they, I think, dropped exclusively, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I was super keen to get my hands on this particular iteration because I do have the OG Quantum in the lifestyle version, of course, not that basketball one as it hasn't released here yet, but I was really intrigued to see what kind of differences were actually made on the pair. Obviously, I'd read a lot about the Quantums because there was like a 3-year build-up, of which they did that really insane release in Chicago, where they had like the Sherps and they were just like swapping shoes out of the back of the Vans. Like that shit was absolutely wild. But nonetheless, got them in hand here, and I can 100% say the changes that they have made into the basketball version. But from what I read back then, the changes were supposed to be a little bit more like game orientated, so less 3M on the shoe, a little bit of a more structural change, and maybe some more like comfort change or something like that, materials and things like that. Some of which have been made over here, some of which haven't at all. So let's get into it, starting with the outsole of the shoe. You've got a translucent sort of semi-white rubberized outsole over here, which basically just encapsulates the full-length boost midsole on here. You're getting a lot of comfort underfoot. Obviously, with the boost being in the midsole, you can actually see it through the window here where you have the boost branding debossed in there. And then just above this sort of medial insert over here, which I think is just going to be providing a little bit more stability underfoot, you do have the Adidas Performance logo, which has been debossed into the outsole. Flipping up into the midsole over here, you've got this sort of duotone, quite white at the bottom, but then things get a little bit darker as it starts to pick up some of the undercolor in this frozen blue upper. And then into the heel section of the shoe, this is one of those changes I thought they had taken away for the basketball version, and that was to basically get rid of the 3M on the shoe. I had read somewhere that they had to take 3M off it because it was a little bit distracting on court or something like that. This particular one does definitely have 3M on it, and that's both in this section and all the way around the heel section of the shoe as well. Another change that I thought would be present on the basketball version is this iconic sort of toe cap shape that you've got here. It is done in that standard sort of like roughy suede. It's the same thing on this teal blue one over here. I thought that was going to be rubberized just to be a little bit more durable on court. The one thing that they have definitely changed on this particular pair is the rubberized upper over here. Now, I don't know if that's just for durability or whatever. I would have thought that they would want more of a breathable one for on court. But this has definitely got a lot more texture. It might just be an aesthetical change. I do somehow think that the lifestyle version of the frozen blue, which also released here in South Africa, I wasn't able to get a pair, unfortunately, does have the rubberized thing. So that does lead me to think it's more of an aesthetical change that's basically on both the lifestyle and the basketball version. Either way, to me, it looks absolutely awesome. Underneath that, you've got that monofilament mesh. So it's tiny, tiny little holes in the mesh there, which gives a bit of a coloration gradient to the upper of the shoe. And then set just below that, you've got a third layer where they do have a 3M sort of stripe that basically juts up and down, which you will obviously catch under certain lighting conditions and flash. Now into the heel section, this is the most welcome change, at least for me. I did find the Quantums reasonably comfortable, at least the OG version, the lifestyle version that I have. However, in the heel section, I did feel a lot of like friction that was happening just from my ankle. It comes so high up, and the shape of that particular shoe was just kind of causing a little bit too much friction for me to call it an overall comfortable shoe. That, however, in the basketball variation has definitely changed and a step in the right direction. You do have a completely elasticized system here in the heel, and it just feels so much more comfortable on foot. And then just taking a look at the lacing system here, this is one of my favorite things. It's also visible on the 700 V3s as well, where you have this deep V of dark black. It just contrasts so well to the coloration of the exterior of the shoe. Standard black rope laces provided with the shoe, and they do have these kind of rubberized ends to them as well. Now the construction of the Quantum is predominantly a neoprene booty style. It does obviously run up the full length of the tongue and in around the heel, so it really does grip your foot in quite comfortably. And then just taking out the insole for you, you've got the standard Adidas performance logo and Yeezy co-branding in the heel, just set on a flat black surface. Now from a sizing perspective, I did go with a half size up. Generally with Yeezy releases, it's just always safer to go a half size up if you haven't had an opportunity to try a pair or a silhouette out beforehand. I'm pretty confident with that decision that I made. These fit me absolutely perfectly. I don't really have any tightness in any particular area, normally around the toe section of the shoe. The one thing that I haven't actually mentioned yet on the basketball pair is the construction, or at least that gradient that you get in the back of the shoe is slightly different here. So that could also be complementing the comfortability of this particular pair. So overall speaking, I would definitely suggest taking a half size up. That said, full transparency, I've never tried a true to size UK 9, which would be my true to size on a Quantum or a Quantum basketball for that matter before. However, I've got a feeling that these are right, and from other reviews that I've seen, I think a lot of people do generally go a half up as well. And then just to quickly run through the lifestyle variation, we've got the teal blue colorway over here. This particular colorway is probably not my first choice, if I'm completely honest. I didn't go for them myself. But just to kind of show you the differences between the basketball, the upper over here is a fully knitted upper, of course. So you do have the different textures and hits of 3M and things like that, which happen in this particular pair as well. However, it's not this beautiful sort of rubberized vibe, which I think I definitely prefer on the basketball version. And then just around into the heel section, I was talking about this sort of elasticated area that you get on the basketball. Here it's just that neoprene kind of booty vibe, but if you look inside of the shoe over here, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of stitching in and around that area, and that's the area which causes a lot of friction on my ankle and sort of lower leg. Other than that, the shoe is pretty much the same as what you're getting on the basketball version. The same sort of booty construction here with the neoprene as the tongue section. The laces, standard black rope laces, of course. The insoles, everything like that, the same as well. But I just thought it would be cool to show you this particular colorway, as I haven't really reviewed it. I wasn't planning on reviewing it as like the differentiator between the basketball and the Quantum. The one last thing I haven't mentioned is just the difference in branding. The lifestyle versions just have Quantum on top of the box, and then Yeezy Quantum on the short side here with the made by Adidas and Performance logo. On the basketball variant of that, you literally have basketball and then Yeezy basketball there as well. So those are the differences between the two. As mentioned, I would go a half size up on these just to be safe. If you do have the option, like these particular ones are available at Story.Cape Town, a marketplace that we launched recently. So you are welcome to come in and try a pair on if you want. Make sure that you get the right size, of course. Otherwise, you can check it out on www.story.cape town if you do want to buy any of these. But that is it for this quick review and comparison between both Yeezy Basketball and the Quantum Lifestyle variation. I hope you guys have found it helpful, enjoyable. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe right here for more content like this down the line. But that's all for me for today, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.